The moment her words pierced the air, they etched themselves into my memory with a cruel finality. We sat across from each other at the kitchen table, me with my hands wrapped around a steaming mug of black coffee, her with her gaze glued to her phone screen. She barely looked up, her eyes flickering toward me with the same casualness one might note a change in the weather. Then she said it, flat and effortless, "You know, you don't really matter to me anymore. If you left, I'd be fine. I could replace you by tomorrow." The words hit like a silent detonation. There was no shouting, no background music swelling for effect, no dramatic collapse into tears, only a suffocating stillness and the quiet, clean shatter of something breaking deep inside me. I wish I could say I pushed back, that I rose to my feet with righteous anger and made her take it back, but I didn't. I sat there in complete stillness, absorbing the blow like a body taking a hit without flinching. My wife, the woman I had given years of my life to, had just reduced me to an afterthought, something easily replaced, like an old coat left forgotten in the back of a closet. And yet, I didn't snap. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't beg her to reconsider. Something within me shifted instead, something clear and firm, as if steel had quietly replaced bone. I understood, in that moment, that I had been pouring myself into someone who no longer recognized my worth, and instead of pleading for her to see me, I began crafting my exit, not a dramatic departure, no slammed doors or desperate nights on someone's couch. I chose precision, a slow, calculated unraveling. I started with quiet intent. In the weeks that followed, I smiled more, kept my tone even, offered warmth she didn't deserve. She mistook it for effort, believed I was trying harder to please her, never suspecting I was building my way out. Behind that mask, I laid groundwork. I met discreetly with a lawyer. I moved half of my savings into a private account. I had the deed to my late father's cabin removed from our joint assets. She noticed nothing. I documented everything: her passive cruelty, the sharpened words, the looks of disinterest, her dismissive tone. There was never a need for confrontation. She was so used to seeing through me, she never realized I was becoming invisible by choice. One afternoon, I returned home earlier than usual from the hallway. I heard music playing softly through the closed bedroom door. Her laughter rose over it, light, bright, unmistakably intimate. She was on a video call, and it didn't take much guessing to know it wasn't a friend. It was that laugh, the one she once reserved only for me. But I didn't burst in or accuse her. I didn't shout or fall apart. I simply walked to the garage, opened the box I had packed weeks ago, and began finalizing everything: passport, insurance documents, flash drive, keys. Everything was ready. That weekend, we had dinner with her sister. She laughed loudly, boasting about her independence, telling her family she didn't need anyone, that she could handle anything on her own. They chuckled, she smiled, and I sat quietly, knowing she would soon come to learn the weight of her own words. 3 days later, I was gone. No farewell, no note, just absence. She returned to an empty house, no car in the driveway, no funds in our joint accounts, no access to the business records that had quietly supported her lifestyle for years. Even the Netflix login screen greeted her with cold detachment. She called once, then again, then a dozen times. A flurry of messages followed. At first, confusion. "Where are you? Are you okay?" I didn't mean what I said. I was just frustrated. Then came panic. "Can we talk? You took it the wrong way. I didn't think you'd really leave." Eventually, regret seeped through. "I miss you. Please come back. I don't know how to do this alone." But by then, I had slipped beyond her reach, not hiding, just unreachable. She had gotten what she so confidently claimed to want: freedom, independence, the power to stand alone. She got it all. What she hadn't counted on was the hollowness that came after. The people she thought would rally round her, the friends who cheered her bravado, moved on to newer distractions. The man on the other end of that video call vanished after a few short encounters, apparently discovering what I had taken years to learn: she was just as replaceable as she believed I was. Meanwhile, I rebuilt myself from the ashes of that kitchen table conversation. I bought a modest house by a quiet lake, peaceful, removed, untouched by her voice or judgment. No one there to tell me I wasn't enough. No one to mock my presence or twist my loyalty into weakness. Sometimes she still sends messages, just checking to see if you're okay. Do you ever think about what we had? I never answer, because when someone shows you how little you mean to them, you believe them. You don't argue. You don't plead for validation. You don't try to rewrite their perspective. You walk away, silently, intentionally, completely, and the greatest revenge, it's not cruelty or chaos. It's giving them exactly what they claimed they wanted, and letting them sit in the silence where your presence used to be, until they finally understand they lost something they can never replace.